You've probably seen a few strange commercials that have unintentionally given off a creepy vibe. Whereas those might be creepy, you don't usually hear bizarre stories about people dying from them. I'm sure you aren't surprised to hear that Japan created a very peculiar Kleenex commercial that did a good job at unnerving quite a few people. The commercial was only 30 seconds long, and here's what it depicted.
It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short while. They walk by the grass and they look at the grass, they look at the sky. It's going to be a fine night tonight, it's going to be a fine day tomorrow.
Kleenex ティッシュです。
There were actually 3 versions of the commercial released. One was the one that you just saw, and here's the second version that was released.
Kleenex ティッシュをお使いですか?
I've not been able to find anything about the third commercial though. In my opinion, the second commercial is actually pretty creepy too, but since the myth doesn't really talk about that one, we'll only be covering the most well-known version of the commercial. This Kleenex commercial was released in Japan in 1986, and soon after it was released, people began to complain it was too disturbing, which is understandable since the commercial has a really unnerving atmosphere to it, and the background music seems very unfitting. Some of the complaints claimed the music sounded like a German curse, which stated, "Die, die, everyone is cursed and will be killed." In addition, people claimed the sound of the music would change depending on what time of day it was. Because of people getting scared by the commercial, it was eventually pulled off the air. After this, the rumors began. The rumors state that everyone involved in the commercial ended up dying before the commercial was even aired. To go into more detail with their deaths, the cameraman died in a sauna, the actress went crazy and killed herself, or in other versions, she became pregnant with a demon baby, and the child in the commercial, depending on which version of the myth you're hearing, was killed by the toxicity of the paint on his body, or decapitated in a car accident. The final part of the curse is that if you watch the commercial, then you too will be cursed or end up dying. Well, if this myth is real, then you're all screwed since I just made you watch the commercial at the beginning of this video. But lucky for you, this is all fake. I first want to address a very popular video on YouTube that shows what happens if you watch the commercial at midnight. In the video, it shows the person watching the commercial at 11:59 and everything is normal. But then, when they watch the same video at midnight, things drastically change. I think the video is awesome and terrifying because instead of presenting us with some cliche screamer, they actually present this in a way where it seems somewhat realistic. It isn't, of course. If you look very closely at the video, you'll see that there is a very subtle jump cut that occurs at 59 seconds. So the commercial didn't change, they just showed a different version of it that they tampered with. And just to be sure, I decided to watch the video at midnight as well, just to see if anything would happen. Okay, so as you can see, it is, I'm trying to get the camera to go up there, it is 11:59 p.m. right now, so in less than a minute, it is going to be midnight. So then the Kleenex commercial is right there, so I'll click on it, and then we'll see if it actually does, get distorted and actually change and everything like that at midnight, and we'll see if that actually happens. So yeah, I guess we just wait till midnight. Oh, okay, it just turned midnight right now. So I'll just refresh, I'm even gonna refresh the page too, just to, be sure. Okay, and then I'll click on the Chris Kleenex commercial, and we'll watch it.
It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short while. They walk by the grass and they look at the grass, they look at the sky. It's going to be a fine night tonight, it's going to be a fine day tomorrow.
Kleenex ティッシュです。
So, as we can see, it didn't change at midnight, it didn't get all distorted, nothing changed, it's completely normal, so I guess that kind of disproves that part of it. Now on with the actual myth itself. We can start from the easiest part to debunk. Apparently, people thought the background music was a German curse. This obviously isn't true because the song is in English. It's called It's a Fine Day by Jane and Barton. The next part of the myth states that everyone involved in the commercial ended up dying in a strange way. Admittedly, I'm not able to find out every single person involved in the commercial, so it isn't easy for me to 100% confirm that they are all still alive, or at least didn't die in a freak accident. All I can really say about this is that using Google, I tried to look up any news article or anything to prove that these people died from the causes listed in the myth, and I could not find anything. The only person from the commercial I was able to specifically find the name of was the actress. Her name is Keiko Matsuzaka. According to the myth, depending on what version you are hearing, she either gave birth to a demon baby or was institutionalized and eventually killed herself. This is obviously false because she is still alive and acting. She's even in a television show named Hana Moyu, which came out this year. And as far as the myth of bad luck or death coming to anyone who watches the commercial, that's also fake. I've watched the commercial several times and I'm doing just fine. So, with the myth fully debunked, that leaves the question of why they even made a commercial like this to advertise tissues. Well, first of all, it's Japanese, so this really isn't that weird compared to a lot of the other stuff they do. But I'll try my best to answer how they got the idea of this commercial. The child seen in the commercial is supposed to be an oni, which is just some weird creature in Japanese folklore. Some people have speculated that this commercial was based on two characters from the anime Urusei Yatsura named Ten, who was an oni, and Sakura. And that's really all I have to say. There's nothing cursed about the commercial, it's just Japan being Japan. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.